I'm sorry, but I'm not here to show videos of war. I'm not here to show shocking footage that's occurring on the ground. You can find all of it on X. You can follow me at Timcast. I post some of these videos and photos with context, but you know, these videos are for me to just talk about what's going on, provide you the news. And it's been brutal, man. I am a fairly anti-intervention individual. And I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying, yeah, but you're speaking a lot in defense of Israel, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, because Hamas killed a bunch of civilians, because they are chasing innocent civilians, because people in New York City are celebrating rockets being fired at civilians. I have called for all of the U.S. presidents who have attacked civilians to be criminally charged and arrested. You come to me, I don't care what your politics are. You celebrate the murdering of civilians, I think you are evil. I don't see that from the right for the most part, or what we would call the right. I see libertarians who are critical of Israel's actions in pertaining to Palestine, the West Bank and the settlements, etc. And I think it is absolutely warranted to be critical of injustices. But you see, the problem right now is that these people, they don't want a solution. They are tribalists who want death. Take a look at this story. Porn star Mia Khalifa, oh, we're always so interested in her opinion, is slammed for mocking the slaughter of hundreds of Jewish people in Israel as she posts sick jokes about Zionist apartheid regime being brought down by guerrilla fighters in fake Gucci shirts. Yep. Lebanese American sex worker celebrating photos of police officers being shot, celebrating these horrifying videos of people just dancing and then being chased and shot at, hundreds dead, cars flipped over. A story of a father who ran full speed towards the gunfire to try and save his daughter, and now they're both missing. Tourists who don't know what's going on. You know, it reminds me of the story I Am Legend, sort of. I mean, it's not completely, but you may have heard of the movie. The book, the graphic novel, matters so much more than the movie. The movie sucked. I've seen the movie. I've only read excerpts from the book, to be completely honest. The general concept, though, what makes the story so fascinating, is it's about a man who is hunting vampires. And he doesn't differentiate between intelligent, sentient, rational, and compassionate vampires and stupid ones. He just thinks they're all vampires. In the end, basically, he's the last human, or just about, and they arrest him. And they're terrified of him. And I Am Legend refers to him being the monster who stalks in the night and kills people in their sleep. Whereas we view the vampires as legend, right? I guess I bring that up because it reminds me of this, but it's not one for one. And I'm not saying this in any way to criticize the civilians. It's to make the point. In the end of the novel, he realizes he was the bad guy, that he did not understand that he was hurting innocent people in his quest for his old world, which was gone. And I'm not here to make a moralistic statement on who is right or who is wrong in terms of the greater history of the conflict in the region, but I can certainly tell you those celebrating the death of civilians and laughing and mocking it are evil. Sorry. I just don't care to mince words. And that's what I see here. These tourists, these people visiting Israel, southern Israel, to dance. They're just dancing. They don't know anything about colonization. All they know is they said, can I come dance? And for this, Hamas said they will murder you. Videos of people hiding in the bushes, recording messages for their loved ones. Many of them are probably dead. And what do we see? Celebration. Celebration. Let me play for you some of this clip. There's just so many of these.
When the Palestinians broke through the fence, they put the F-35s on trailers.
That's right. You're listening to the celebration.
And as you might have seen, there was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters. But I'm sure they're doing very fine despite what the New York Post says.
I'm sure they're doing very fine. I just can't even. Can't even. You know what bothers me about war is when evil people, for evil reasons, kill innocent people. They want power. You know, I don't have all the answers, man. You want a free Palestine, you want a free nation, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I tell you the one way you don't get it. storming in, paragliders, executing civilians. There's reporting now that Egypt warned Israel. And so the conspiracy is that Israel allowed it to happen. Israel is saying this is their 9/11. There's 900 deaths so far. They're mass mobilizing. It could be the end of Gaza. I mean, I don't know. But a lot of people think that it was intentional. And I'm like, dude, I think that possibly. But I see these stories and I don't know if I have it pulled up. I don't know if I have it pulled up. Where they're arguing that Egypt 10 days ago warned them. And people assume 10 days is enough. Look, man, we just did this event in Miami. It took a year to organize, a year, so that I could be on a stage for 1 hour. Now, don't get me wrong. We had pre-show, mid, after, and everything. So it was from 6 to about 11. We did this event, and it took a year to organize. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. You come to me with 10 days notice and say something's going to happen, and it's like, there's a lot we can do, but there's a lot you can't do. And I suppose the issue is warning someone 10 days in advance something is about to happen does not mean they know exactly what is going to happen. And if they come out and say, everyone, high alert, does that solve the problem? Do they go to southern Israel and say, we're canceling all of your festivals because of an alert? We don't know what's going on. You don't know. And you don't know to what degree the warning was. But this is what we see here. And my point for this segment, because there's a lot of segments on Israel, is free speech stands, even for these people cheering. Let them cheer. I'm glad they're cheering. I want to see their faces as they celebrate the mass killing of civilians. From the Daily Mail, Eric Adams is blasted for not ending pro-Palestine rally in Times Square, where swastika was waved at Jewish group after mayor merely tweeted, "Do not use our streets to spread your hate." I am glad Eric Adams did not end this rally. You see, this is the argument for free speech. Let these people come in bullhorn. I want everyone to hear it. I want your friends, your family, your moms, your dads. I want them to hear these people celebrate the killing of civilians. So we know exactly who they are. They're evil. In their view, Palestine is justified in killing children because Israel is an apartheid state. Yeah, sorry. Nope, that just doesn't fly. You can make the arguments, and there's sound arguments, that civilians are as equally culpable in terms of conflicts, and that's why they're targeted. What I mean is, and this is the argument, I'm not saying it's legitimate. The argument is civilians provide the economic backing for the production of weapons. Yes, but I happen to believe that the appropriate way to deal with military threats is to take out the military capabilities. Not always easy to do, nor perfect, right? The idea being that if someone is armed, shoot him in the hand. Yeah, okay, look, no, you can't do that. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. I don't have the answers for you. What I can tell you is that it is evil. Mia Khalifa, she's an evil person. These people are evil. Sorry. If you want me to come out and say Israel should not be, say, seizing land in the West Bank, you got it. You want to talk about apartheid? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what do we do? Let's talk about how we seek solutions and answers. Do you believe that Palestine is unjustly oppressed by Israel? Okay, come talk to me. Can we solve this problem? Instead, you cheer and you dance and you scream in joy as we watch videos of children, teenagers, families hiding, being kidnapped, being murdered, being mercilessly beaten, and you celebrate it because you can't differentiate a civilian from the military. A German tourist who came down to Israel and was going to dance and was a pacifist, probably supporting Gaza and the Palestinians. But this is the reality of the world, my friend. There are evil people. And it's not just these people in the streets cheering for this who are evil. It is the warmongering extremists, people like Nikki Haley, John McCain, John Bolton. I am no fans of any of these people. And I find it fascinating right now because you've got Democrats that are like, how dare you, to the squad members, call for a ceasefire. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I'd like there to be no fighting, but I don't know how you call for a ceasefire when one side is bombing the other side, right? Because the military response is not arbitrary. Israel is not just like, well, we're going to go arbitrarily bomb. No, it's we're being attacked. We're attacking back. Okay, well, look, I don't have to tell you, man. Hamas did this. They celebrated it. Israel's, of course, going to attack back. You have a right to defend yourself. You want to talk about the history of the nation and make those arguments? I'm down to argue. I'm down to hear it. Let's bring on, we'll get Dave Smith down here. And, we'll see if Dave Smith wants to come down and have this conversation with somebody. But I got to tell you, man, the position I'm in is We don't want fighting. But these Democrats are pro-war. They're staunchly pro-Israel, pro-funding of Israel. They're the same people that want to provide funding to Ukraine and all this. And I'm just like, man, here's the brutal reality. Yeah, we are providing funding to Israel. Israel uses that money for weapons, but a lot of it's the Iron Dome. How do you deal with this? You know, I've read a lot about Israel-Palestine. Everybody makes their arguments, and there's conflicting versions of history. What I can tell you is that if it were the other way around, if Israel was the oppressed group and the Jews of Israel were being bombed and their civilians were killed, then the narrative would be inversed. There would be an inversion. It is only because Israel is able to defend their territory, control, and expand that they are considered the bad guys. Expand is the obvious point, but I'm saying I do believe seizing territory, property, and territories and bulldozing homes in the West Bank is wrong. I've seen these videos. I've heard these stories. But it doesn't justify what we're seeing with the storming. You know, I don't have to tell you, man. I guess what I can say is it's war. And anybody glorifying death in war is evil, in my opinion. I hate all of it. I don't like what's going on in Ukraine. Russia shouldn't be invading, but there's war. It just, it is. And you want everyone to stop, but there's evil people and they won't. Even if Israel tried to negotiate any kind of peace agreement or whatever, it is obvious that the people in Gaza don't differentiate civilians from military. They think they're all one and the same. They're ideological extremists who say anyone on this land is an evil oppressor colonizer. That's what they're saying. And you have high-profile people like Mia Khalifa now supporting it. Whatever, man. I don't know. I'm going to keep talking about it, I guess. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. I'll just leave this one here. It's whatever, Mia Khalifa. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all at 6.